What is up, you guys? I have a brand new video for you, and in today's video we're doing the usual more FNaF VR Help Wanted concepts. Today's video on FNaF 4. But before we get into the actual video, I just have a question for you guys. So I got this idea for a new schedule for the channel, and basically it would be Saturday to Thursday. I'd do a single plush edit, like a one and done character, like a FNaF AR skin. I'd do the speed edit, the commentary, that's it, 1 to 2 minute video. But then on Friday I'd do a big concept video like this one. I'd have like 5 plushies in it, explain why the wave would be good. It'd basically be this video. I think this schedule would keep the channel alive because there'd be a video every day. So I want to know your thoughts on it. I included a test video of what it would be like and a poll up top. So I want to get your guys' opinions. You can vote if you want to see that on the channel there. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the actual video. So the first concept is of our main man, Nightmare Freddy. So for Nightmare Freddy, I used the Freddy Frostbear plush as a base. I used it because the Freddy Frostbear plush is obviously the newest Freddy plush. So by using it, it'll get you guys the feeling that, hey, this is a new type of wave, and it has an updated style and everything. So that's why I used him. I had to give him a dark, kind of rich chocolate brown color. And then for his secondary color, I had to do that, but lighter. And then I had to give him his nightmare eyes, and I also had to get rid of his eyebrows and his freckles. I gave him the nightmare teeth. I really like Funko's nightmare teeth. A lot of people don't, but I am actually a fan of it, so I kept that in this concept video. And then I also included a bunch of withering. I also gave them toes, like little spiky toes, just something new, like why not? Put a bunch of withering everywhere above the eyes. I gave him the missing part of his ear, and I also gave him 3 little Freddles made out of the Freddy keychain plush. And that is it for Nightmare Freddy. The next concept is of Nightmare Bonnie. Nightmare Bonnie was a bit of a tricky one to make, mostly because of his color. He has a very unique color, and it was hard to kind of get that into the plush, but eventually I got that. I also had to give him his purple eyes. I just borrowed the eyes that I made for Nightmare Freddy. I think I did that for all the nightmares in this video. I gave him a bunch of withering, including the big chunk taken out in the middle of his stomach. I gave him his missing left foot from his perspective. I gave him withering all over, on his snout, on his arms, his body, his ears. And speaking of his ears, I also gave him another segment in his ears, so he has those iconic 3-piece ears that he has. I gave him a red bow tie from the Chocolate Bonnie plush, which I use as a base. And yeah, that is it for Nightmare Bonnie. The next plush is of Nightmare Chica, and I used the normal Funko FNaF 1 Chica plush as a base. And the first thing I did was I made her feathers on the top of her head a bit larger. I also gave her the Sanchi Chica plushie's beak, mostly just because that Nightmare Chica has a very large beak, and the Funko beak just doesn't suit that. I also gave her the nightmare eyes, again, that I borrowed from Nightmare Freddy. I made 1 gray and 1 red. I gave her the big chunk of withering that's at the top left of her head. I dirtied up her bib. I gave her the nightmare toes that I gave to everyone, and I gave her withering all over her body. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Nightmare Chica. The next concept is of Nightmare Foxy. For Nightmare Foxy, I used my fixed Rockstar Foxy plush as a base. You can find that on my DeviantArt if you want to make your own plush using it. I don't mind. And so for Nightmare Foxy, I had to change a lot of stuff. For one, I had to get rid of his freckles on his snout, and I had to get rid of his eyebrows. I also had to get rid of his eye patch. And then I had to give him his brown pants. I had to give him his endo feet and his, I guess his hook, really. I didn't end up giving him a hook. I tried. You could see me attempt it in the speed edit. I didn't do it because it just doesn't fit, and I could see why Funko didn't give theirs a hook either. I gave him withering everywhere. I gave him his gray endo snout. I also made his eyes bigger, and then I put the Nightmare Freddy pupils there. And I also made the feathers on the top of his head black because Nightmare Foxy in the game, those are just wires. And yeah, that's it for Nightmare Foxy. I think he turned out pretty good. And the next plush is a plushie that I would commit arson for Funko to make, Nightmare Fredbear. Why don't we have a plush of him? But I'm getting off track. For Nightmare Fredbear, I used the Freddy Frostbear plush as a base. I used him because the same thing about what I said with Nightmare Freddy, with it being new and stuff. And yeah, so another thing I had to do with Freddy Fazbear was I made his cheeks a little wider, mostly because, you know, Fredbear's known for having that big jaw, so by making his head a little wider, it'd give that sort of feel. I then gave him the brown design he has on his snout. I also gave him a brown stomach and brown inside of his ears. I gave him some dark toes. I gave him his stomach mouth, his 2 buttons, his purple hat, his purple bow tie. I gave him the stripe on his hat. I gave him some withering on top of his eyes, which I think just, it's just a great touch. And then I also added withering on his ears, face, everywhere. And yeah, that is it for Nightmare Fredbear. Funko, please make him, for real! And you can't have Nightmare Fredbear without Nightmare, the last plush edit of this video. For Nightmare, it's pretty self-explanatory on how I made him. I got my Nightmare Fredbear edit that I made, and I just recolored him. I gave him his yellow top hat, his yellow bow tie, and I gave him those big, red, glowing eyes. And I would just kill for Nightmare, for just Nightmare to be made. I think he'd be like the Shadow Freddy of this wave, if this wave was ever made. And yeah, I just really love Nightmare. He's cool and all, and I think he should definitely be made. Funko, please. Where's Nightmare Fredbear? Where's Nightmare? Please, just make these plushies. I'm on my knees, bro! But, yeah, that is it for Nightmare. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. I just want to share some fan art that I've gotten this month. I thought these 2 pieces were really cool, and if you want your fan art to be featured at the end of a video, definitely go tag me on Instagram or mention me in the Discord. Both of those are linked in the description below. And if you want to see these edits that were featured in the video in full HD, you can do so on my DeviantArt, again, linked below. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Definitely let me know what you think of the new schedule I came up with and the test video, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.